Hello everyone, welcome to this week's edition of the Weekly Sting, a special edition as we get ready for the NCAA tournament in women's and men's basketball here at Lynchburg College. And with that said, I want to bring in the guys first here to the Weekly Sting, and Hillary Scott, Alex Graves joining me on the show this week. I want to start with Coach Scott. I want to talk about obviously winning on Sunday. We know it's a big deal in general, but for you and what you have pushed for since you got here, 8 seasons, this finally being the result that you've always wanted. Did it take longer, or was it kind of the time that you expected when you got here? How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, you always want to win as quick as possible. But we knew it was going to be a process, and the last 4 or 5 years we've really gotten the program to the point where we've been competing at the top half or top portion of the league, and then it's just been a matter of trying to get over the hump. It really has. It's extremely tough to win this league, and we were talking at one point last week of over the 36 years since the last time we've won an ODAC championship. It's only been 4 other schools who have kind of dominated it. So it's been hard. It's been really hard for everyone to win. So for us to get over the hump, the first thing I thought about when we got it done was just our current players, former players, alumni, former coaches, all of those people who helped along in this process. And, it just was a great feeling to finally get that done, and some of the things that we've been talking about for 8 years finally came true.
Right. Hey, Alex, I know that there was some tension and waiting for that first game because of the past 3 years and losing the quarterfinals. And what was the relief like when you guys were able to beat Hampton-Sydney and kind of just, okay, we're moving on to the next round?
Yeah, that was a huge just monkey off the back type of thing. For me personally, I was 0-6 in that building. So 3 in high school and then 3 here in college. So that was a really big monkey on my back that I was really relieved to just get that first win under our belt. And the way we did it, I thought we played really well. We really jumped on them right away, and really never looked back after that.
Now for you, the weekend started pretty well with ODAC Player of the Year. Finished pretty well as also obviously the championship as a team, but getting the most outstanding performer in the tournament with 12 points per game, 10 blocks over the 3 games for you. I've noticed from our standpoint that it seemed like you may have tried to change up your game a little bit because people would double team you on the block and you're working more on your jump shots. Is that something you've been working more on?
We've been shooting a lot in the past month, even in the preseason and stuff. I'd get in here with my guys. Omar, me and him shot a ton before the season and all that kind of stuff. So that was definitely been a process I've been working on, and we kind of knew going in, obviously winning Player of the Year, people are going to draw a lot of attention. So I just was really trying to just get guys good shots, and my guys were knocking them down. Bobby was on fire. Really everyone was hitting shots, to be honest. So I was just trying to get the best shots possible for the team and just trying to do whatever I could to help the team win.
I don't think anybody had a bigger jump shot though than Omar. As far as the humor part of it goes, that was a sweet shot for sure. Coach, you and I were talking after everything on Sunday, and superstition was a big part of the whole weekend. Instead of staying down there, you guys decided, look, we're going to do everything different than we've done in the past, which obviously worked out in the end. But you were telling me about going as far as your clothing for the game. Can you tell the rest of the world about your superstition?
Well, first of all that started with Coach Aldridge, my assistant coach, who's really taken the superstition to the next level, and it's gone from what we're eating to attire to the route to where we go to the game. It's really gotten to the point where it was ridiculous, and the going thing was we had to have even number of gray in our attire throughout the weekend. Actually, the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season, even Graves got involved as well. He got excited when he saw us wearing gray suits. But the last going into the tournament, I think it was after Friday's game. I've been wearing a gray suit. Decided it was going to be the gray suit all weekend. And I was trying to decide which shirt to wear, which rewind all the way back. I haven't worn a tie all year, which that started at the beginning of the season as well. So just trying to figure out what shirt I was going to wear, and it turned out being a 25-minute ordeal to try to figure out which one I was going to use. And finally, I said, this is ridiculous that I'm spending this much time to try to figure out, what I was going to wear in the game. So I'm not sure what direction this will go this week, since this will be our first trip to the NCAA tournament in a long time. But as much as I try to get away from it, I'll somehow find some way to find some kind of superstition as we go. I did take my gray suit to dry cleaners, and so we do have that. So I don't know if I just washed off 3 wins or am I restarting a new deal. So I guess we'll see on Friday.
We shall see soon enough. Alex, did you guys as players have anything that you wanted to make sure you did the same thing every day?
Well, we had shooting time, so Chad, Omar, and I would always shoot the same basket. We would always shoot down there. We'd always really the same order we shot. It would go me, Omar, Chad, me, Omar, Chad. And then Linda and I had been shooting together after practice, just shooting free throws, because we'd both been kind of going through a struggle at the free throw line the past, 2 or 3 weeks. So me and him just decided, I'm going to go shoot some free throws after practice. And that's when we kind of started to get on a roll. And so we just were continuing that through the week. And then Chad, my girlfriend, and I went to cookout the night before Sydney, and we got the same thing from then on. And except for Chad changed up what milkshake he got before Sunday's game, so I think that's why I was a little close. So if we had lost, I'm pretty mad at Chad, but
because that milkshake choice.
Yeah, the milkshake changed it up, but yeah, that was 3 of the couple other things we did.
That's not always the place that you typically go for a pregame or pre-day before a game cookout. It's not usually on the list, but hey, it obviously worked out.
Player of the year worked.
Right, yeah.
Good endorsement for cookout.
That's right. Check him out, cookout. I want to go over to you, Coach Scott, and just talk about this week is new for all of us, really, here at Lynchburg College. What's been the most difficult part about planning for playing in March and having to travel and all of the ins and outs that go on behind the scenes?
Yeah, and I think that's just what makes it different. It's just all of the planning that goes involved and the travel and NCAA conference calls and paperwork and those type of things. It makes it different. We've watched tape, but probably not as much as we would like to as of right now. So we'll make sure we get more of that in here in the next day or so for sure. But that's what makes it different. What we're going to try to do is make this as close to a road game as possible. And try to really enjoy the moment. We talked about that after practice yesterday, is just try to enjoy this whole thing. I think one of the reasons why we've been successful here the last month of the season is I think we're playing loose, we're playing confident, and I think that has shown on the court. I think we can go all the way back to probably our Shenandoah game. I can remember our first half, we were real tight and just not looking like we're having a lot of fun. And then really that second half we came out and really talked about, let's go play. We know what we need to do. We know how to play. We've got a good team. Let's go show it. And I think we haven't really turned back since then. And so it's going to be important for us as a staff, seniors, to really make sure that we bring that confidence, that looseness, and really try to treat this like any other game. We're lucky enough to play somebody on a neutral court the first game, which is always a positive.
Right.
So, I think these guys are excited. We're going to have a good time and hopefully play well in the meantime. Absolutely.
Looking forward to that as well. For me, going with you guys, just so you know, LHSN Radio will have the call. Also WIQO if anyone wants to listen back here in the greater Lynchburg area. Last thing I want to ask is for you, Alex. When you look at, as soon as the selection comes out, people automatically go ahead and look at matchups. I did it myself. And you look at you versus one of their players who's averaging over 20 points per game, 8 rebounds. You've seen some tape already. What do you think you guys do already, at least on paper, that's going to give them a problem and give you guys the upper hand?
We're obviously undersized, but I feel like we're a fast-paced team. The tempo we play at is really different from what they play at. So I think that's going to be a really key of really whose pace are we going to play at. I think that's going to be a key for the game. But personally, it's a challenge to to go up against another great big man, especially for the three of us, me, Austin, and Omar. We're going to have to bring our A games, be ready to go for those guys. It's definitely a personal challenge, so may the better team win. That's really what it comes down to at this time of the year, who's going to make plays. And Coach always says that it's at this time of the year, it's which team's going to make the plays at the end when it matters. And the last 2 or 3 weeks, I think we've done that. So hopefully we just keep it rolling.
That's right. Hopefully the team with red in their jersey will come away victorious. Well, fellas, thanks so much. I know you got a bunch of stuff to get to and get ready for the weekend. Thanks for coming on the show. Congratulations on the ODAC championship.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
When we come back, we'll talk to the women's basketball side of things, Abby Pyzik Smith and Caroline Naumann on the Weekly Sting.
What time is it? Fraction of a second. The moment, time to own it. What time is it? You know what time it is. Take it.
Welcome back to the Weekly Sting, everyone. A special edition here this week as we get ready to go into the big dance, the NCAA tournament for men's and women's basketball. And with that said, I'm now joined by women's basketball head coach Abby Pyzik Smith and, of course, Caroline Naumann, who had a tremendous weekend in Salem Civic Center. Accolades continuing to roll in for you this week. And let's just go ahead and dive into it there with becoming the most outstanding performer of the tournament, USBWA National Player of the Week. Does it ever get overwhelming in a situation, especially as a sophomore, to have all this stuff come at you?
It's overwhelming is probably definitely the best word. It was just amazing. I was standing there, we just won and we're all super happy and they're calling our names and then they say I was the most outstanding player. I can't even describe how I felt right then, and everyone's just around me cheering, and I was so glad they're behind me. I thought I was going to faint. I thought they were going to catch me, but it was very overwhelming. I was just happy, we all won and everyone was so happy, and then things just kept lining up, and then the National Player of the Week, it's unbelievable. I'm speechless about it all, honestly.
Well, when you get three double doubles in 3 games, that's a pretty amazing feat in itself. For you, did it feel any different this weekend? I mean, were you in a certain kind of zone compared to where you were before, or was it just a combination of that extra hard work that you guys put in that actually showed up in the biggest moments?
Well, I think it's a culmination of all the hard work that we've done, because this weekend, if you just talk to anyone on the team or Sammy or Cheney, everyone was just in a good mood. Everyone was confident. You never saw any doubt or any kind of worry in anyone at any point. So I think during the games, I know in the beginning of the second game, the Washington League game, I started with 3 turnovers. I just ran around with my head chopped off. But then I looked at Sammy and I looked at Cheney, and they were no, it's okay, calm down, it's gonna be fine. And I think that their confidence in me, especially being a sophomore, and those are big lights, and being in Salem Civic Center, so they were just always there to back me up. And so I think that gave me a lot of confidence to go through. And I'm not sure how I got that many rebounds. That was cool. I guess I was just I don't know, jumping around.
Well, it's fine. The main thing is you got them, and obviously that you helped your team win the ODAC championship. Coach Pyzik Smith, we've touched on it before, and just the difference in the atmosphere for your team, maybe this year compared to last year. We obviously know how comfortable you guys were, thanks to the semifinal postgame interview. But in your experience, because you were a part of a championship team at Washington and Lee, you've been at the D1 level. Is it the teams that are most comfortable and are a little bit more loose that are the ones that have more success in the tournament environment?
Absolutely. I think, mentality-wise, that's huge going into a championship and into a tournament week. You can have the physical ability and all of those things, but if you don't have the mental side of it, then it's a very big challenge, when you hit adversity. And I think this team is very strong at taking punches. And you can hear from listening to Caroline, she's so humble in what she's done and who she is, and she has tremendous leaders that we've built on that culture. But I think one of the main reasons that it is overwhelming and all of those things, is because we are so balanced, so all the pressure is not on Caroline. Cheney Forbush steps up, Kuhn comes in and is able to drive and, wear out the defense even more where Caroline is resting, Olivia hits some big threes, it's just so balanced all the way around. So, if someone is struggling, someone else is picking it up so they don't feel like the weight is all on their shoulders. And I think that's what's so special about this team going to a championship. We're probably 7 or 8 deep, but those 7 or 8, are very solid in what we do and are a threat in every single spot. And I think when you have all of those weapons, that's the difference maker in going into a championship. The mentality part and then having that balance is just really critical.
You speak of mentality, and I kind of got more of this from the men's side as far as any superstitions. Did you guys have any that you were trying to avoid or trying to continue this past week? Because I never asked you that.
Well, we're a very prepared and planned team, and so we do everything the same way. We're entering into the NCAA tournament the same way as what we do in playing Lynchburg basketball. Our staff has superstitions along those lines, but I know the players have their own superstitions, so we try to stay out of those as well, and I'm sure Caroline could probably be more detailed on that potentially. But we're a very detailed and organized team, so I have no doubts that our rhythm and how we do the things the same way every time, and not getting too high, not getting too low, and trusting and believing in who we are, where people have to stop us, has been a really big turning point in our program where we have that confidence.
Can you elaborate on any of them at all that you have, Caroline?
Well, it's honestly really funny you say that. All right, after the first game, my grandfather, who is one of your biggest fans, he looks at me and he goes, "Man, whatever you ate, you better eat it again." And all throughout this tournament, let me just tell you something, I ate the exact same thing every day. I had the same thing at Panera for breakfast. I had the same thing at dinner, and I think a couple other people followed in that footsteps as well. It's the little things. We all have like game day hairstyles. I know my room, which was Alex, Alan, and Jamie Grace, we straightened our hair before we went out to the tournament. I think Cheney Forbush has some of that too. And we all have, handshakes, things like that. I wear the same socks. I wash them, but
that's good.
They are washed, but yes, it's my pair of hot pink socks, so you can spot them under the black socks a little bit. But honestly, I don't think I was always a superstitious person, but we like things how we like them.
Right. This is a pretty big moment too,
Yeah.
to try and have everything in your favor as much as you can.
Yes.
Going into this week, uncharted territory for you guys, obviously, making it this far, playing in March. What's the most exciting part from your angle that we are in March and we are prepping and we are going on the road and we get to play some extra basketball this week?
Mm-hmm. Everything, absolutely everything is exciting. You're right, just the fact that it's March and we're going. It's not the fact that season's coming to an end. No, season is completely restarting. Mm-hmm. We're going into something brand new that we've never done before, and that alone is exciting. It's such a cool mentality to think that we're the first to be doing this. Like, that's something that I'm always honored to be a part of. And to be a sophomore and to experience stuff like this, I still have 2 more years. I can do this again and again. I just think everything is exciting, honestly.
We want to make sure that we continue this feeling, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Want to get used to it, for sure. With that said, Coach, we talked about it a little bit after the championship game, the past players, but what's it been like this week and people contacting you about this championship, especially from those that were people that we named there at the end of the game who really put this thing in motion once you got here?
Absolutely. My email and texts have been blowing up, and I'll make it on air. I apologize for not getting back as probably quickly as I should. But just having everyone reach out, again, kind of echoes that thought of being a part of something bigger than ourselves. Mm-hmm. And, I think Lynchburg is about family and being very close and very tight. And you can tell that family in highs and lows. And we're on a high right now, and everyone is reaching out for that too. And it just makes it really special because you feel like all of that hard work is recognized. This is a great group, to kind of echo what Caroline says, it's March, and we have one of the longest seasons out of any sport, and it's very easy to be like, oh, we just went through an emotional whirlwind this weekend. We had crazy highs. But, we went for a team dinner last night to celebrate as a family kind of our accomplishments so far. And, we don't want it to end, and we don't even have to speak it. We just know it. There's just a great vibe. There's great energy in who we are and what we do. And so we're so appreciative of everybody's support that carries us through this stretch mentally and physically, as it is very demanding and all of those things. And it just makes it very proud to wear the Lynchburg jersey.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I don't want it to end either. This has been a lot of fun for everyone involved, especially obviously for you guys. Last thing I want to ask, Coach, is for those that don't have time to look or don't have the necessary means to see what Birmingham Southern does or who they are. They're kind of in a similar situation. They won their first conference tournament, so they're probably feeling the same feelings. They don't want it to end. They want this to last as long as they can. But from a coaching standpoint, what you've seen from them, what can we expect to see from Birmingham Southern on Friday?
Right, absolutely. They're very guard strong. They have a great 6'2" post player inside that they look to. But outside of that, they run a great motion offense, and they drive and they kick and they shoot the three and do a lot of little things that way. Their defense is strong in a lot of ways. And so, we know going into the tournament, there's no easy game by any means. And we just prepared 3 games in a row for, taking everybody's hit and, one and done kind of atmosphere. And so we know we're walking into that same situation along those lines to continue to make history and to do those things. I think the thing that won, our stretch down this, or won us our tournament games down the stretch, was our incredible defense, and we've really prided ourselves on that balance. And we've talked a lot about our offensive weapons and things like that. But, before going into the tournament, we were 48th in the nation when it came to our defense. And, we take a lot of pride in that along those lines. Birmingham Southern is very strong defensively, very scrappy, very quick. So it'll be a defensive battle, and if our shots don't fall, we know we can rely and have that backbone in our defense to be able to get comfortable and to figure that out. And so I think it's going to be a great battle. We're really excited about our draw and to be in that bracket and to make some noise.
Well, we are as well. We are certainly looking forward to following you guys. Again, they play on Friday against Birmingham Southern at 5:30, and then the men play Friday as well at 5:30 up in Ohio, at Ohio Wesleyan. They'll play Scranton, PA. You can hear the men's game on LHSN radio at 5:30, and we will have staff members for LHSN with the ladies to document all of that as well. So we have everything covered one way or the other for everyone. No problem at all. Make sure you stick around lynchburgsports.com as much as possible for all the updates, and of course Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, anything else we can think of in the next few days to make sure that you don't miss a single thing from this weekend. Ladies, thank you so much for coming on the show. Congratulations on the championship, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much.
That's going to do it for the Weekly Sting. We'll be back same time, same place next week.